Hey, welcome back to the Destiny of Oracles, Taurus. If this reading has found you today, trust that there may be a message that you need to hear. The energy surrounding this connection feels incredibly unresolved. Somebody here seems to be saying absolutely nothing. Yet emotionally, they may be caring far more than they are willing to admit. And Taurus, because your sign values stability, consistency, and clear intentions, so this silence may have left many of you questioning everything. As always, remember that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Free will always exist and energies can shift. Well, what I want to uncover first is the real reason behind all this silence because something here tells me that distance isn't as simple as it appears. So let's see what is happening beneath the surface. The first thing that we need to understand is why this person has chosen silence. Are they remaining silent because they are no longer caring for you? Or is there something much deeper that's preventing them from reaching out to you? So we have got the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles, and the World card. So, Taurus, the first thing I want to say is that this silence does not feel like an indifference to me. In fact, I think many of you already know that because the energy here feels unfinished rather than disconnected. The Nine of Pentacles immediately tells me that somebody is trying very hard to appear self sufficient, independent, and unaffected. So, on the surface, this person may be presenting themselves as though they have everything under their control. They may be, focusing on work, personal goals, finances, or simply maintaining the image that they are doing perfectly fine on their own. But here's the contradiction. With the presence of this Queen of Wands in reverse, I don't think that this person feels nearly as confident as they appear. So there is some sort of insecurity here. Jealousy for some of you, pride for others. I feel like somebody may be struggling with the fear that they no longer have the same place in Taurus life as they once had. And Taurus, because your sign is naturally loyal, but also incredibly stubborn once you're hurt, this person may feel that if they reached out now, they could be rejected or shut out completely. So your person may actually be waiting for a sign from you while simultaneously expecting you to wait for them. It's almost as though both people are standing still and each of you is expecting the other to make the first move. Now, the World card here tells me that the silence is deeply connected to a cycle that has not been fully completed. Somebody knows that something important remains unresolved between the two of you. There are unfinished conversations, unfinished emotions, or perhaps some unfinished business. So, the emotional truth is that this person is trying to convince themselves that they have moved on, but emotionally, the chapter still feels open. So for now, I still see that this person maintaining the distance and observing from afar rather than, immediately reaching out to you. They may watch, think, or quietly keep the tabs on Taurus while totally appearing detached to everyone else. But here's the problem: if this person still feels that the story between you isn't over, what exactly are they feeling underneath all of the silence? So I would like to know from the spirits that what are this person's current feelings for Taurus and what emotions they are no longer able to ignore. Because I'm especially curious whether this person's feelings have grown stronger during this period of separation, because somebody here seems to be struggling between pride and some genuine emotions. Okay, so we have got the Seven of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. Taurus, this is fascinating because the silence suddenly makes much more sense. So, what I am seeing here is somebody who is emotionally overwhelmed, but instead of moving closer, they are actually retreating. The Seven of Wands in reverse tells me that this person is exhausted, emotionally, mentally, or even spiritually. They have been fighting something for a very long time, and I don't think that they have the energy to keep resisting it anymore. So, this person is basically tired of pretending that they don't care. However, that does not mean that they are ready to openly express their feelings. With the Knight of Cups in reverse, somebody here is struggling to trust their own emotions. They may want to, express love, apologize, or reconnect, but something keeps stopping them. And the fear of vulnerability, it is huge here. So this person may be asking themselves, what if Taurus doesn't feel the same anymore? Or what I have already ruined this connection? And Taurus, because your sign tends to withdraw completely once you are disappointed, I think this person genuinely fears that you may have emotionally closed the door. But the Knight of Wands in reverse also tells me that this person may regret the past impulsive behavior, inconsistency, or emotional immaturity. So, for some of you, this person knows that they created instability within this connection. And they may even be ashamed of how they handle things. So, on one side, they want emotional closeness, yet they don't trust themselves to maintain it. So, your person may still feel a very strong attraction and emotional pull towards you, Taurus, but they are currently suppressing it because they fear repeating the old patterns. So instead of immediately reaching out, I see this person is continuing to hesitate. They may repeatedly think about contacting you, Taurus, and still they try to stop themselves. There is a lot of starting and stopping energy here. But here's what doesn't add up. If this person is exhausted from resisting their feelings, what exactly are they hiding from Taurus? So, what is this person actually hiding? And what truth are they still struggling to admit, even to themselves? I want to look beneath the surface now because somebody here appears to be carrying emotions that they have not fully acknowledged themselves, even. So we have got the Four of Swords in reverse and the Six of Cups in reverse, and we have got the High Priestess. Hmm. So, Taurus, this is deep. What this person is hiding is not just feelings, it's the fact that they have never truly found peace after the separation. The Four of Swords in reverse immediately tells me that somebody here has been unable to fully rest, heal, or emotionally settle down. So, on the surface, they may appear very calm, detached, or completely fine, but internally, their mind has been incredibly active. They may be, replaying all those conversations, revisiting the old memories, or repeatedly questioning whether they made the right choice. So, this person is far more unsettled by this separation than they would ever admit. Now, the Six of Cups in reverse is fascinating here because it tells me that this person is trying very hard not to live in the past. They are attempting to convince themselves that they should move on, let go, or stop looking backwards. But the harder they try to suppress the memories, the more these memories seem to return. And Taurus, because your sign resists the change and deeply values the emotional security, I think this person knows that once Taurus closes a chapter, reopening it becomes incredibly difficult. So that realization is creating a lot of anxiety here. But the real secret lies in the High Priestess. The High Priestess tells me that this person is hiding a truth that they already know. They intuitively know that this connection is significant. They intuitively know that their feelings did not simply disappear. And some of them may even know exactly why this separation happened and what would be required to repair it. But they are, just keeping that knowledge to themselves. So this person may be secretly relying on signs, intuition, social media, mutual friends, maybe some tarot readings, or indirect ways of staying connected to Taurus while pretending to be completely detached. But if they are trying to move on while simultaneously remaining energetically tied to Taurus, I feel this is the contradiction. I do see continued observation and silence for now. This person is much more likely to watch, gather information, or follow their intuition rather than making an immediate move. They are waiting for certainty before taking any sort of action. But the problem is that if this person already knows how important this connection is, then what exactly is stopping them from breaking the silence? So I would like to know what is the main obstacle keeping this person in silence and what fear continues to hold them back. Because I don't think that silence itself is the real issue anymore. I think the real issue is fear. So let's uncover what this person is truly afraid of and why they continue holding themselves back, Taurus. So we have got the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Cups in reverse and the Five of Swords in reverse. Taurus, this is very revealing because the cards are showing me that the biggest obstacle is no longer a lack of feeling. The feelings are there. The real obstacle is what happens after the contact is made. So the Ace of Wands here tells me that this person absolutely feels the desire to reconnect, restart, or reignite this connection. There is still passion here. There is still the curiosity here. There is still a part of them that wants a new beginning with you, Taurus. But the Seven of Cups in reverse also tells me that this person is finally seeing this connection clearly. They are no longer confused. They are no longer idealizing or avoiding the truth. They know exactly what they want, or at least they know what they have lost. And that is where this fear is coming in. Because with the Five of Swords in reverse, this tells me that this person is afraid of conflict, rejection, and the consequences of the past. Somebody here knows that before a new beginning can happen, some uncomfortable sort of conversation would have to take place. Apologies may need to be made, accountability may be required. So, this person is actually fearing the damage that has already been done. So, Taurus, because your sign values loyalty and consistency above almost everything else, I think this person knows that simply returning and acting as if nothing has happened will not work with you. They know Taurus remembers. Taurus doesn't easily forget the broken trust. This person may be afraid that Taurus has changed during this period of separation, and that this version of Taurus returning to this connection is no longer willing to tolerate the old behaviors. So basically, the power dynamic has shifted. At one point, this person may have believed that they had time, options, or control over the situation. Now they are beginning to realize that Taurus may no longer be waiting for them. So I do see this person becoming more open to reconciliation and communication, because the avoidance energy is weakening here. However, before reaching out, I still see them rehearsing the conversations, trying to find the right words, or looking for signs that Taurus would still be receptive. But here's what I don't understand. If this person wants a new beginning and fears losing Taurus, what would they actually say if they finally gathered all this courage to speak to you? So let's see, what does this person want to say to Taurus if they have been unable to express? If fear, pride, and past hurt disappeared for a moment, what are the words this person has been carrying in their heart but struggling to say it loud to the Taurus? So we have got the Death card and the Two of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Wands. So Taurus, I feel that this is powerful here, because for the first time in this whole reading, I am seeing somebody who has reached a point where they can no longer continue pretending that nothing has changed. Because the Death card here tells me the first thing this person would say is that I know things cannot go back to the way they were. This person understands that the old version of this connection is over. They know that something significant has changed, either within them, or within the Taurus, or within the relationship itself. And honestly, I think this person realizes that they played a role in bringing this to the ending. The emotional truth is that this person knows that the transformation is necessary if there is ever going to be another chance. Now, The Two of Pentacles in reverse tells me that somebody here is exhausted from trying to juggle the emotions, the responsibilities, fears, or even multiple priorities. But the contradiction here is that this person may have spent a long time avoiding making a decision, but internally they are reaching a breaking point. So, this person may want to tell Taurus that I can't keep pretending that I'm okay without you, or I have realized that you truly matter to me. So, for some of you, this person may also want to admit that they mishandled the connection because they are overwhelmed, emotionally unavailable, or trying to maintain the control over too many areas of their life. And then we have got this King of Wands. This tells me that despite all these emotions, this person would still try to speak logically rather than emotionally. So, Taurus, don't expect dramatic love confessions immediately. This person would likely approach you in a very controlled, measured, or almost, like a business like way. This is also interesting because while Taurus tends to value consistency and honesty, this person may finally be realizing that avoiding difficult conversations only created more distance between the two of you. So, you want to know the biggest secret? This person has already made an important realization about this connection, but they have not yet communicated it. When this person does communicate, I see them coming in serious and a more direct way. They will likely choose honesty over flirtation. So the conversation may begin very cautiously, but it has the potential to become very significant. But here's the problem: realization alone doesn't guarantee any sort of action. So the real question now is whether this person is actually preparing to move towards Taurus or whether they will continue remaining trapped in the silence. So let's see what is this person's next move towards Taurus and what action can Taurus realistically expect from them. Because the energy feels like something is shifting beneath the surface. So let's see whether this person is genuinely preparing to make any effort or take any action, or they will still continue delaying this connection. So we have got the Star card in reverse, the Six of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So Taurus, this is interesting because the energy here is showing me movement, but not in a straightforward way that you might expect. So the Star card in reverse, it tells me that this person is still struggling with doubt. They have not completely regained hope in this connection. There is still a part of them that wonders whether too much damage has already been done or whether Taurus would even welcome them back. So this person wants a positive outcome, but they do not fully believe that they deserve anything from Taurus. The Six of Wands is a very public card. It tells me that this person still cares a great deal about how they have perceived, especially by Taurus. Pride is still very much present. They want to approach this connection from a position of strength, not from a position of vulnerability. So, for some of you, this person may even be trying to improve themselves, become even more successful, or get their life together before reappearing. And Taurus, because your sign values reliability, values consistency, this person may even feel that they need to have something substantial to offer to Taurus before approaching you again. The Knight of Pentacles is in reverse, and this is a delay card. So, this person may continue postponing the action even though they desperately want recognition from Taurus. So, they want Taurus to see them, notice them, perhaps even admire them. But still, they are moving painfully slow. So, this is someone who keeps saying that I'll reach out when the timing is better, or I'll contact Taurus when I feel I'm more ready. But the problem is that the more ready keeps getting pushed further and further into the future. So the power dynamic has definitely shifted. I think this person assumed that they had unlimited time, but deep down they are now beginning to fear that Taurus may have eventually moved on completely. I do see this person becoming more visible. They may watch your social media, ask about you indirectly, or try to place themselves back in your awareness, or subtly seek your attention. However, the direct communication may still be delayed because insecurity and pride, they still remain the major obstacles. But I would like to know that if this person continues delaying, where is this connection actually be heading? Since where is this silence leading? Is it leading towards a new beginning, or is it leading to a permanent sort of ending? So, Spirit, please tell me what future energy surrounds this connection and what path are Taurus and this person currently moving towards. We have seen the feelings, we have seen the fears, and the possible next move. Now let's uncover the future energy surrounding this connection and see what destiny is trying to unfold between the two of you. So we have got the King of Swords in reverse, the Five of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. Taurus, this future energy feels heavy, but it also feels incredibly honest. The cards are showing me that unless something changes, this connection could remain trapped in a cycle of silence, misunderstanding, and the emotional distance. The King of Swords in reverse, it tells me that communication is still the biggest challenge here. Somebody is continuing to suppress their emotions, avoid the vulnerability, or control the narrative rather than speaking up openly. This person may convince themselves that staying silent is the rational thing right now to do, when in reality, that silence is creating even more confusion. So, this person is still struggling to balance their heart and their mind. They know what they feel, but they are also not yet comfortable expressing it. We also have got the Five of Wands, which tells me that there is some unresolved tension between the two of you. This does not necessarily mean constant arguments. So, for some of you, this is an internal conflict. Your person is fighting themselves. One part of them wants to reconnect, while the other part fears rejection, accountability, or losing control. And Taurus, because your sign is naturally stubborn, and protective of its heart once wounded. I also see that both people standing at their ground here. Neither side wants to be the one who risks getting hurt first. So the connection may have quietly become a power struggle, basically. Both people care for each other, both people are affected, but both people may also be waiting for the other to make the first significant move. And then we arrive at the Five of Pentacles. This card concerns me because it tells me that if the current pattern continues, both people could end up feeling isolated, abandoned, and emotionally deprived, despite caring deeply for each other. So, the biggest contradiction is that the feelings are still present, yet the behavior is creating distance. So, in the near future, I still see periods of silence and emotional defensiveness. However, I don't see emotional detachment. I see two people who continue thinking about each other while remaining stuck in their own pride, fear, or uncertainty. So, despite all this conflict and distance, I don't see this person has emotionally let the Taurus go. So, Spirit, please tell me what is the one emotional truth that this person can no longer avoid or run from, no matter how hard they try. We have explored the silence, we have explored the fears, the hidden feelings, the future. Now, I want to uncover the deepest emotional truth that this person has been, unable to fully confess to themselves, even. So, we have got the Ace of Swords in reverse, we have got the Strength card, and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So, Taurus, this is kind of heartbreaking because the deepest emotional truth here is not that this person doesn't care. It's that they have spent so much time controlling, suppressing, or denying their emotions that they no longer know how to express them in a very healthy way. The Ace of Swords here in reverse tells me that there is tremendous amount of unexpressed love, sadness, regret, and emotional pain sitting beneath the surface. Somebody has closed themselves off emotionally, not because the feelings disappeared, but because feeling them fully is simply too painful for them. So, this person still has feelings for you, Taurus, but they are terrified of what those feelings require from them. The Strength card here is kind of fascinating because it tells me that this person has been trying to stay very strong, maintain the control, and resist the vulnerability for a very long period of time. And Taurus, because your sign values emotional consistency and loyalty, this person may feel that admitting the depth of their feelings would force them to confront everything that they have avoided for so long. This is so Taurus energy in a way because once a Taurus loves, the bond tends to be deep, stable, and difficult to replace. So I think this person has finally realized that connections like this do not come along so easily. And with the Seven of Pentacles here in reverse, it tells me that this person is now becoming increasingly frustrated. They may be looking back and wondering, did I wait too long? Did I invest enough? Did I ruin something that could have grown into something much bigger. So this person may secretly fear that Taurus is slowly moving on, healing, or becoming unavailable emotionally. And that fear is much more stronger than they let anyone see. And the deepest emotional truth here that they can no longer avoid is that they cannot simply walk away from this connection emotionally, yet they also don't know how to repair it. So the biggest fear isn't rejection anymore. The biggest fear is regret. So, if this person continues suppressing their emotions, they will become increasingly restless and emotionally dissatisfied. Eventually, they may assume that the pressure may push them towards some kind of communication because the energy of unspoken emotions is becoming too heavy for them to carry. But Taurus, your energy and your journey matters as much. So let's shift the focus back on you now. Let's see what guidance does Spirit have for Taurus regarding this connection and their path forward. I want to see what Spirit wants Taurus to know, protect, heal, or prioritize moving ahead. So we have got the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. Taurus spirit is very clear, bringing the focus back to you because I think many of you have spent a great deal of time trying to understand this person while neglecting your own emotional needs. The Knight of Swords tells me that Spirit wants Taurus to stop chasing clarity from people who are unwilling or unable to provide it. Taurus, your sign naturally values stability and consistency, but when you care deeply, you can sometimes remain emotionally invested long after the other person has stopped actively participating in the connection. So, the emotional truth is that some of you may be seeking answers externally whereas deep down you already know the truth of the situation. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse is a very important card right here. It gives a very important message. The Spirit is saying that somewhere along this journey, Taurus may have started placing like too much of the emotional energy into this connection at the expense of themselves. Some of you may have neglected your very own well being, your peace, your confidence, even finances, maybe health or emotional security, while waiting for this person to figure out themselves. So the connection may have unintentionally shifted the balance of power away from Taurus. So the Spirit wants that power back in your hands, Taurus. Because you are not meant to build your emotional world around someone else's indecision. Also, we have got the Eight of Wands in reverse, and this card tells me not to force communication, not to force the outcomes, and not to rush into destiny. Delays are still present around this connection. Spirit is asking you to surrender the timing. So, the contradiction here is interesting. The more the Taurus stops waiting, stops chasing, and returns the focus back to themselves, the more the energy around this connection begins to shift. So, over the coming weeks, I see Taurus becoming increasingly detached from the need of, immediate answers. And that shift may completely change the dynamics between you and your person. So, the guidance from the Spirit is simple: choose yourself first, restore your peace, rebuild your confidence, allow others to meet you where you stand rather than continuously moving towards them. So, Taurus, your story is still unfolding, and whatever happens next, never forget that you deserve consistency. You deserve someone who reciprocates your feelings and gives you the emotional honesty. Remember that tarot reflects the current energies, not the fixed outcomes. And free will always exist. And both your choices and their will shape the future of this connection. So, Taurus, if this reading resonated with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know your situation or simply comment in your sign so I know you're here. Thank you so much for allowing me to read this energy with you today. Wishing you clarity, healing, and peace on your journey, Taurus. Until next time, take care of yourself.